Okay, so I'm having an interview with Clarence. So I have to ask you, Clarence, what's your biggest takeaway in history of China?
So the biggest takeaway in the history of China was that I've noticed that the philosophy of um, Confucianism appeared in many different dynasties.
Just
Yes.
Confucianism? Just Confucianism? What about Taoism? Buddhism?
Well, Taoism started later and Buddhism started later too, but during the beginning, Confucianism had always been
Like
in the
essential idea
yeah
and like you're saying like filial piety
yes
and
family
family, yeah, yeah.
and at the intellects show a lot of values and beliefs of Confucianism. I was always interested in the value of rites and rituals. It was very significant, and one idea I took away that was new and surprising to me was that Chinese people were always practicing the rituals and dancing. Like Mr. Brown once said, one cannot dance his or her best when dancing is not his or her favorite thing.
What? Where was that quoted from? Is that just Mr. Burrell said that?
Mr. Brown
Okay.
said that.
Okay,
So if
Mr. Burrell would say that.
what?
Mr. Burrell would say that.
So if you were to just keep practicing, doing the rituals, we would be good at what we are. And with many people having the same mindset and goals, and just keep practicing, a wonderful government can be formed.
So, government? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
and I believe and agree that ritual practice was the core of Confucius' teaching because he was the one that taught his disciples to follow the rituals, to respect, to bow, and he was a great example to those disciples. And in the Analects, Confucius said that respecting one's own parents and elders was a ritual, and one has to continuously respect his or her parents, and be filial too. So if the majority of the people stick to this ritual and constantly practice it, then everyone will be in harmony and get along well.
Okay, but what happens if you're not filial? And okay, if it's, I know if you're not filial, you're not in harmony.
Yes.
Okay. If you're not in harmony, what happens?
If you're not in harmony, take the warring states period for example. Chaos happens and different warlords uh, conquer each other, and there will be
Anarchy?
like chaos everywhere
Speak up to the
with
mic.
no real central uh, central government,
Centralized government.
centralized government.
Okay. Can I ask you one paradox of filial piety?
Yes,
You have to show respect to your elders, but do your elders have to show respect to you? Have to.
they don't.
Have to. They don't have to.
They don't have to show respect, but
Then why do parents?
another uh,
Yeah.
another value comes in,
Which one?
which is love and compassion from elders to
Okay.
sons.
Okay.
And in the Chinese blockbuster movie Confucius, Confucius is laughed at by a guy uh, due to his bowing to anyone he sees. He bowed as if he was during the golden age of the Zhou dynasty, and but in fact it was during a period when the Zhou dynasty was disintegrating and Confucian like family values and social values were disintegrating. This shows that Confucius was indeed a person full of rituals and morals. He practiced on what he thought was right and was glad and contented in doing so. the significance of rituals is that during rituals, since the process is very regulated and you have to have proper etiquette and manners, just like what, just like the typical people do when they go into a friend's house. You have to be polite. You have to be polite. You have to take off your shoes, etc.
And why do Westerners do that? Mr. Burrell,
um, they have. I think they have because they're a lot different than Chinese. They barely they don't have Confucian values
do you
integrated in them.
are you forgiving if, let's say, a Westerner comes to your house, but he doesn't bow, he doesn't take off his shoes?
No,
Would you say
because
would you be forgiving, or would you be like
I will
Confucian?
definitely be forgiving because Confucius once said, "Know what you know and know what you don't know." If you know that they don't follow Confucian ideas, then you will be forgiving naturally, and you wouldn't mind at all.
Confucius?
Uh, so so Confucianism values were occurred like very early in the Chinese history, and I see that the Mongols also assimilated Chinese culture and Confucian beliefs.
Which dynasty was that again? I forgot
It was
which dynasty.
it was the Yuan dynasty
Yuan dynasty,
when the
when
Mongols,
the savages became
yes,
civilized savages.
when they became Chinese, and yeah, and it was it was not surprising that they they became Chinese because Confucian ideas and values were according according to me so strong. Yeah,
So wait, so you're saying Confucian values are so powerful that other people who like learn about it want to practice it?
yes,
I see. Then why do Westerners do that?
because they've been they're they're they weren't they have been
There's
living for thousands of years, believing in one God, and many wars have affected their thinking and ways.
so do you believe that even though let's say you have these two different values, Confucian values and
Wait,
the Western value, what?
there was this guy in the West, like way later in the Chinese history, when the Christian missionaries arrived in China, Ritchie, instead of abolishing the rights of Confucianism in China, he in fact blended some of Confucian values into his own beliefs of Christianity, and he eventually, I think, created his own Jesuit interpretation of Confucianism in the Shangdi, I think.
Okay.
So his belief had a blend of Christianity and Confucianism.
Blended it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that he blended it because he saw the beauty in
Yes.
Confucianism and he saw his own belief and he said it should be united.
Yes.
But I have a question for you. So both ideas are, they have their own ideas. They're very unique in their own, very way. Do you think like, these ideas should ever try to overcome each other, like the West tried to do in China when they spread Christianity into China? Because it started a lot of
Yeah,
wars.
but the difference between those was that the Westerners were forcing the religion into China, but the Chinese culture somehow blended well and was pretty attractive to several Westerners. So I think that the Chinese culture will appeal more to people than Christianity. And also during the later when the Vatican were opposing the interpretation of Ritchie, Kang Si, he said that Confucianism believes in rights were their main value, the bedrock, the foundation, and it was so important that Kingsley refused the Vatican request and he expelled them. It shows how much they valued the rituals and the effect they had on them.
So do you personally believe that external powers, like let's say the Vatican, the West, should have a say in what others do? Like they say, oh no, Confucianism is wrong. You're like you're worshiping your
You
like
can't
dead ancestors, blah
you
blah blah.
can't
Blah.
say Confucianism is wrong because you don't know anything about
So
Confucianism.
you're saying these Westerners had no rights to
Yes.
like to say like the Vatican said no, you can't believe in that, but then they're like, hell no, we're believing in it.
Well, Ritchie wasn't forcing his own interpretation to other people, but the other missionaries were indeed forcing their religion into Chinese. So that said, rituals were very important. For example, during the Qin Dynasty, Qianlong has received McCartney as a foreign missionary, and when McCartney came to China, he was expected to bow in front of several elites and Qianlong himself. And I think it was because it was an etiquette, like a ritual, but and it's basically meant that rituals were so important in China that even foreigners or guests have to had to obey Chinese culture and do what they do to show respect to the king and the emperor. And I think that if there were no rituals in China, I think surrounding China and surrounding Asian countries would very much be like the West.
Is that it? Is that all you have to say about history of China?
No, I would like to connect to today.
Okay.
Uh, the reason why I got so attracted to the rituals from the beginning of HOC to now is because I am Chinese, and it's because I am Chinese myself,
Uh-huh.
and I do. And when my grandpa passed away, we offered him wor- uh, world like earthly pleasures like incense, food, drinks, tea, etc.
You say you're um a Chinese Buddhist Confucianist. Yeah, are you Confucianist in a sense?
Yes,
Are you Buddhist?
yes,
Isn't that a paradox?
no,
How?
because in I remember in one of the articles we read,
Yeah.
I we are the Chinese were Confucian Confucian either Confucian either Confucian in the morning or in the afternoon and Buddhist at night.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember reading that.
So they all the three Taoism, Confucianism, and Buddhism all blend together, unlike the three monotheisms in the West.
oh yeah, like those three ideas, they can blend so well, and yet
Yes.
Buddhism. I mean, not Buddhism. I mean, but like Islam,
Yeah.
Christianity, Judaism, they can't. And yet they believe in the same God. Okay, so wait, Clarence, you said it's not a paradox, but
Yeah.
I know you're Buddhist, and you're a very strict Buddhist. You don't eat meat, you pray every day, but I know you go to temples every summer. Like you go to
Yeah.
those temples, you shave your head, right? You shave your head, right?
That was because I became a monk.
Yeah, you became a monk. Okay, so how dare you? You know, if you're Confucius, you cut your hair. That's Confucian.
That wasn't part of
That
Confucianism.
is Confucianism.
That was more like the upper trend.
No. You're giving up your hair, right? And you're also changing your last name when you're becoming a monk, isn't it? You're giving
No,
up your family heritage.
no.
How dare you?
You shave your hair because you want your desires go away, and that's
Okay.
one of the Buddhist
Okay.
values,
And you're
and it's part of Taoism too.
so
But
every bit of desire goes with your
yeah,
Confucian values. Oh no, you terrible Buddhist slash Confucianist. But it's okay, as long as you are somehow in between.
so in conclusion, the biggest what what I found was most interesting was Confucian values, and I hope to learn more about it, and I will miss the history of China very much.
No, wait, stop. My takeaway from History of China, from learning it last year, was that it's so rich of history.
Yep.
If you compare it with America, America I think it's like 400, 500 years of history, but in history of China it's like 2,000 years, 2,000 years. So it's a really long history, and it's all connected by three simple values: Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. And I really don't believe that. If I were to say which history is more superior,
I would say China.
I would say China too.
Okay. Bye.